Hey everyone, EddieMan here, and welcome back to Spaghetti Factorio, featuring Angels, Ores, Bobs, episode number 4. In today's episode, we're going to go ahead and proceed with finding out how to proceed towards the filter inserter. It's very complex, so we don't even we scratch the surface this episode. So as you notice, I have gotten iron and copper on a belt from the sorters. So what we need to do is to sort it all out. We need the filter inserter to pick out, so we can get copper on one belt and iron onto the other. Okay, so now here we are researching electronics. That gets us towards the filter inserter. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and place some lights here, like I mentioned. So we have a light path going to the main part of the base. Okay. Checking notes here. Okay, so what we're gonna have to tackle is eventually we're gonna have to figure out how to get tin and lead. So tin comes from balmonium and lead comes from the rubite. I also noticed here that I had to clean up some belts here. I got crushed stone on with the ores there. So I filtered that out. Let's take care of that. We don't need that anymore. So here, notice that the copper and the iron are going to come out in the same inserter. So I apologize about the background noise. But anyway, okay, so what we're gonna have to do here is I noticed that didn't even place any radars, so I think I'll get some radars up in just a moment here. Oh, I was noticing that I had to pull out the slag here in the middle, but again, that's when I noticed I also need the filter inserters as well. So we're gonna have to go ahead and beeline to the filter inserter, which is a very scary path. I'm not gonna be blunt about that. Okay, yeah, here we go. I'm gonna make some radars. I'm gonna place one here by the mining, and then one over by the science and the power. Alright, electronics is done. I'm going to pick the long inserter. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and place some turrets down here because we are generating this pollution. And I don't know where the biters are. I think they're starting to peek out from the fog of war, the northwest corner there. I'm going to check the map in just a moment. We're going to come back over here to smelting, and this is when I noticed I try to figure out what the filter inserter needs. It needs basic electronic circuits, which needs solder plates, which needs tin and lead. Yep. So the tin plates come from the balmonium ore. So we're going to have to go ahead and mine that and smelt some balmonium crushed ore. And the same thing with the lead. We're going to have to mine some rubite to smelt that, the crushed rubite, into lead. Okay. So here I'm trying to figure out where the items that I need are located in this long list of items. They seems to never end. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and proceed with steel processing here and knock that out of the park. Keep going back to this because I wanna get iron and copper on separate belts so I can smelt them properly. That is the overall goal here. So I figured I'd get some ammonium into my inventory here. We also have to get tinned copper wire, which is tin and copper, to make all these components for the basic electronic component, which replaces the red circuit and bobs. We need resin, we need rubber. So many different items we need. It puts all the fun back into it, right? Alright. Okay. So the basic electronic board also needs basic electronic components. Another name for that is the transistor. So we're gonna have to research, I believe it's cold processing. Basic chemistry, that's it. Yeah. So basic chemistry is gonna get us access to cold processing, which is going to also unlock carbon and rubber and so forth, which we need all those items as well to make the basic electronic component and the basic electronic boards. So we're going to go ahead and get some mining of ammonium up and running here. I just wanted to place it far enough from the smelting column so it wasn't in the way. Okay. We're going to set up some crushing for that as well. We need some stone there to pick up our crust item and our regular furnace we're going to need to make. Okay. Now that line is too long. I'm going to end up trimming it down. Eventually. Yeah, see. I think I only need one to start off with. I don't know why I said two, but I do. Okay, and then also it needs coal as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and manually feed that so I get some tin plate on. So I think it's every 2 ammonium iron it gets me 1 tin plate, 2 crushed iron, ammonium ores for 1 tin plate. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and duplicate that system for the rubite here. Just check its signs really quick. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and just duplicate that, what we did for the ammonium for the rubite here. Again, this is just a learning process. I don't even know how to scale this up for mega scales. I'll figure it out as we go. Yeah, there we go. I trimmed that line, it was too long. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and get a crusher going on here to crush the rubite. And then we're going to take the crushed rubite and smelt that for lead. Okay, I'm just going to manually take it out for now. I'm not even going to worry about putting it on a belt. Alright, so to make that transistor, we need solder, which we need solder plates, which come from lead, and then we need tin copper wire. So I'm just going to go a little back and forth here to collect tin and lead. I'm going to go ahead and set up some resin also, because we need that. And that comes basically just from wood. So we'll take all the wood and just make it all into resin right now. Well, at least half of it. I don't want to get rid of all my wood. We're close to that basic electronic plate board. I don't think I make one this episode. But like I said, it's really complex, and it's gonna, to scale this up to what we need, as I don't even know, to be honest with you. Yeah, so we need coal processing for carbon and an item called coke. Still trying to grasp the concept behind all this. It's very complex and confusing. We're just going to go ahead and research warehousing. Like I said, I have that mod installed and I want to utilize that. Oh no, that's right. I go with coal processing first. I believe warehousing I'll knock out later on in the episode. Yep. Okay. Okay. So just checking the items that I need again. Basic electronic components, 1 tin copper wire, and carbon. Okay. There's so much we need for that filter inserter. Oh my goodness. Right, just gonna go ahead and clean up some belts here. The crushed stone is making it past the assembly machines for the stone ore here. And I do notice that power is a little low as well. So in just a moment here, we'll go ahead and increase power. But I do double up on the stone processing here from the stereotype. Okay, so like I said, we're going to just double up the stone ore processing from off the stereotype, crushed stereotype. Alright, and that should cover all of our needs with the crushed stone being filtered out. So clean up these belts really quick where the crushed stone has made it past it. Okay. And manually insert the ones that you don't need, and I'm cluttering up my inventory. Okay, so here we're gonna go ahead and double power. I just need some iron here. Okay. Yeah, so we put our steam engine here, or 2 steam engines in our boiler. Okay, that's great. Yep, now we notice the biters are poking out there in the northwest. So it's a little concerning. I'm gonna go ahead and make. I think I go ahead and make some more turrets. No, okay. I'm very obligated to get those those filter inserters. I keep coming back here wanting to get it going. Just playing around with the setup here. The idea was I want to make a loop where the belt loops around as the filter inserters filter out the necessary ore. I think I'm going to wait a little bit before I go ahead and set that up. We're going to go ahead and research, just knock out the greenhouse filter. Yeah, the greenhouse research here. So now I have access to making carbon and coke and carbon dioxide. So we're going to have to figure out how to set those up. But carbon is what we need for that basic electronic component. We need 1 carbon for every transistor that is made. We have plenty of coal to do that, so let's go ahead and proceed with that. Okay. So Advanced Ore Refinery 1 requires green science. So we're not ready for that yet. All right. But we can just knock out the greenhouses like I am going to do. So we can go ahead and start producing wood for our boards when we slowly chop down the forest and we start running out of wood. So we have access to that. So the chemical furnace allows us to mix certain things to make solder plates that we need. So it needs tin and lead to make solder. So tin is required in both the solder process and the tin copper wire. So it requires a lot of tin to make the boards. I'm not even sure how I'm going to be able to scale this up. Like I said, it's going to be a learning process. This whole series is a learning process. So I'm learning this as we go. All right, so we have resin available. We have solder available. Let's see, what else do we need? We need the carbon. We need more tin for tin copper wire. I think I just go ahead and craft that in my belt right now. Okay, so I was trying to pick out where I'm going to set up tin and lead smelting. I was going to start going down like an L shape off the original smelting column, but getting towards the end of the episode, I noticed that it's going to cut into where power is, and that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to find another home for tin and lead smelting. I think actually on the other side of the power poles there on the left side of the screen, which I think is where I'm going to go ahead and set them up. So I spent all this time chopping these trees down and find out that it's not in the right spot. So originally what I was going to do was actually move power, and I was going to do that off camera, but getting to the end here, I noticed that it's just not going to work at this part. So I'll go ahead and place a new, I'll come up with a better idea off camera and move them. But those biters are close, and we have them now in the upper and northwest corner as well. So we're gonna start getting surrounded here eventually with biters. So we're gonna have to come up with a plan with that as well. So go ahead and just create some belts here, gather up some iron. Like I said, I was still thinking I was gonna make the columns right there, but then I end up changing my mind. And we're gonna go ahead and just connect this stone smelting to the bus here. Okay, we're gonna chop all these trees down. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this episode. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in this episode of Spaghetti Factorio. And like always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.